is wonderful! Two for one. Let them come. This is their fate. 3 opponents down.
Hello everyone, I am CoolGuy, and today we're going to be going over the Nightfall exclusive reward, Horror's Least. Now this pulse rifle can be obtained from the Corrupted Strike as it goes through the Nightfall rotation. It has a chance to drop randomly at the end. Now even though this strike isn't up this week, it's going to come back and this pulse needs to be talked about. I'm a big fan of pulse rifles, always have been. Now, there are a lot of things about this particular pulse that really excite me. It's of the 540 RPM class, it falls in the energy category, it does arc damage. So fast firing, same as Requiem, Darkest Before, and the other new 540, Claws of the Wolf from the Iron Banner. Now, I reviewed that weapon, there's a link in the description if you guys want to check it out. It's my personal opinion that Horror's Least is the best in class, best out of all 540s. Now, that's subjective. Everyone is different, but the Horror's Least has a lot going for it. And in this review, I'm going to be talking about perks a little bit more to explain what it does and how some of the perks affect it. It's going to be kind of stat heavy in this video, so here's your warning. On a base level, it has important stats where they count. It has a range of 34, stability of 49, reload of 35, handling of 22, aim assist of 82, recoil direction stat of 55, and a magazine of 36. Out of the 8 540 RPM pulse rifles in the game, the Horror's Least has the best stability, it has the best aim assist, it has good recoil direction, but the handling is the worst of the 8 at 22. Now, I've always done my reviews like this. It's for a couple of reasons. It's important as a player to understand what is going on, because once we establish the strengths and weakness of a weapon, we can start talking about how to make it complete. When you see your perks, barrel options, mid-tree perks, you have some choices with random rolls. You can either A, build on the strength of the weapon, or B, build up the weakness to make it a little bit more well-rounded. In the Horror's Least case, we can see that we could add range to help out the aim assist and damage fall off and add to its stability. Its strength is stability. Or we can try to make its handling better, which is its lowest stat and its true weakness. Once we get a good roll, a great roll, perfect roll, god roll, you start building that roll up with perks on your armor, your mods, and choosing perks within the weapon to bring out the best possible outcome. That's what we want to do. So here are the 9 barrel options. Only 3 are going to roll in the tree. There are 6 that you need to look out for. So the 6 that you want to look for, we have Chambered Compensator and Arrowhead Break. Both of these always going to be good for a pulse rifle. They control recoil. It's kind of like a counterbalance mod. We have Corkscrew Rifling, slight increase to range, stability, and handling, which those are the 3 main stats that we're looking at on this pulse rifle. Fluted Barrel greatly increases handling and increases stability. This one helps out the worst stat the most, the handling stat, so it's a good option. Polygonal Rifling increases stability. Small Bore increases range and stability. In the middle tree, we have 8 perks for 2 slots. Ricochet Rounds leads the pack for increased stability and a slight increase to range. Then we have High Caliber Rounds. There are a lot of magazine options, Alloy Mag, Extended Mag, Appended Mag. The 2 outliers are going to be Ricochet and High Cal. The first perk tree has 5 total options. The perks here are really strong for the most part, meaning a good roll can come out 80% of the time. We have Rangefinder, Zen Moment, Headseeker, Full Auto, and Under Pressure. And here's where we're going to cover what each perk is doing for this weapon. Rangefinder is strong on certain weapons like this one, Horror's Least. Horror's Least has a set scope, kind of like a hand cannon. You can change the barrel, but the scope doesn't change. A scope can increase your zoom factor, increasing your effective range, which is exactly what Rangefinder does. It adds a 1.1 times zoom. And you can see it on this weapon. You're actually zoomed in a little bit more, and this basically gives you 10% more zoom and 10% better damage fall off, both on your min and max effective range. It's kind of pushed out. So in this weapon's case, zoom can't be obtained through a scope. It's a shorter range pulse rifle that's 540, so Rangefinder helps out this weapon a lot. Full Auto is really good on this weapon. It's going to mimic the feeling of Darkest Before from the early Trials of the 9. Personally, Full Auto messes me up on rhythm on certain weapons, but not ones like this. The 540 archetype works really well with Full Auto. It has the second fastest TTK of the pulses, so in Crucible that's 0.8 seconds, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Full Auto helps that out a lot to achieve that. Zen Moment is really good on this pulse archetype as well. We talked about it in the Iron Banner pulse video. For Zen Moment, stability increases with each hit, and it caps up to 66% after 5 hits. And with these pulses, you fill Zen Moment quickly. After 2 quick clicks or trigger pulls, you have 6 shots, 6 rounds out of them, and if 5 land, you're already at the full buff of Zen Moment. It grants 66% of your base stability stat. The base stability stat of this pulse is 49. And then we have Headseeker, and a lot of people have been asking me about Headseeker on social media in the comment section, so let's clear up what Headseeker does and its purpose. It's exclusive to pulse rifles. Body shots landed with this weapon increase precision damage for a short time. It's a perk that you will continually benefit from. It's easier to use PvP numbers here. So The burst shoots out 3 bullets and the burst pulls up, meaning that if you're aiming low and hit the body, the bullets go up into the head. It's going to do 2 extra damage per precision shot. Headseeker isn't there to do more damage. Headseeker isn't there to have a faster TTK. Headseeker is there to potentially save the burst time to kill, so let me explain. We have a 0.8 second TTK. You need to land all 9 headshots of the 3 bursts at 22 to the head. That's 198 damage. If you hit 1 body shot, so 8 headshots, 1 body, that's 189 damage. That's going to get someone that's 3 resilience or less. Now in that same scenario, if you hit body, then headshot, and then 6 straight headshots, that's 193 with Headseeker. That's going to take out 6 resilience or less, which a lot of Guardians are going to fall 6 resilience or less. Headseeker always has a lot of benefit. It's always going to be seen in every game that you play, and at most you make up for damage, otherwise you wouldn't have, but you might see someone that's already taken some damage, your burst is a little off, that 4 damage might come into play, and again, it has the potential to save the burst time to kill. The second tree has 6 perks: Outlaw, Moving Target, Ambitious Assassin, High Impact Reserves, Kill Clip, and Firefly. Outlaw, Firefly, Kill Clip, Moving Target are your best bets, followed by High Impact Reserves and then Ambitious Assassin. There are some very, very good perk combinations with this pull, so we don't have an option to get what we want, but it's going to be alright most of the time when it drops. If you get full auto, that can work with Outlaw really well. It can work with Firefly, Kill Clip. Honestly, there are numerous great perk combinations. Each one of these pulses that drop can and will do different things, and they're all going to perform differently. I have 2 of them that are really, really good, and I actually alternate them depending on the map and PvP. The first one I have is Rangefinder Kill Clip. This is the one that has that 1.1 times zoom because of Rangefinder. On larger maps, I pull this one out. The barrels are perfect. We have Chambered Compensator, Corkscrew Rifle, and Fluted Barrel. So this is the choice, the one that we talked about in the perk section. I could go Chambered Compensator to get the recoil direction better. Corkscrew Rifle, he gives the boost to the 3 stats that we talked about: handling, stability, range, and then Fluted Barrel, big increase to handling. Now I do go with Fluted Barrel for the great increase to handling. It makes the weapon more complete and nice, well-rounded stats. The deal with this pulse, it has very good recoil direction in the first place. It's not going to bounce around on you as much as it did with the Claws of the Wolf. It has that nice open clean dreaming city sight like the Tiger Spite. Since I'm here at this point, I could put on a counterbalance mod to tighten it up a little bit if I wanted to, but I actually saved my counterbalance mod for my second roll. It's a roll, in my opinion, it's one of the best rolls that you can possibly get on any pulse rifle. It's one that I'm going to have with me throughout all of Destiny 2, it's that good. It's one that will stand the test of time. It's the Headseeker Kill Clip roll. The choice of Chambered Compensator, Fluted Barrel, and Hammer Rifling comes in that first barrel option. Again, I went with Fluted Barrel, and I put on a counterbalance mod this time. Mid-tree, we have high caliber rounds or flared magwell, get a stability bump, or a great increase to reload speed. I go with flared magwell because we have Kill Clip. This roll right here is deadly. When you're in Kill Clip, body shot damage in the Crucible equals your original headshot damage. So with these, it's a 3 burst kill to the body for 0.8 second TTK to achieve it. Pulses are special in the case that they can kill within a burst. So let's say a 7th bullet of the 9, which this one can do. It does 29 to the head with Kill Clip, and Headseeker will make it do 31 if you hit the body first. Headseeker adds on to Kill Clip. It's one of those weapons that you do not want to be in front of when it's kicking full force, and we'll talk about that in the PvP section. In PvE, it really holds its own. The rolls that I have allow that, but I can see Firefly doing really, really well, full auto. I use it in the raid, it put in a lot of work, I use it for the eyes, all around easy to use, all around great damage. This week is an arc singe in most activities, so this thing was shredding. Depending on my loadout, I look for pure damage or crowd control. Most activities I use Whisper or Sleeper, just as most players do. I can use this, Horror's Least, as my main damage dealing weapon, and it does really, really well. In PvP, it does 22 to the head and 13 to the body, and again, a 0.8 second TTK if all 3 bursts, all 9 headshots hit your target. Aside from high impact pulses that can 2 burst, these are the next in line for the best time to kill. These are very relaxed. It shoots fast enough that shots missed get right back on track easily, due to have that minimal burst delay because they shoot so fast. Same goes for when you get flinched. If you get thrown off, you can easily get back on. The roll I have of Headseeker and Kill Clip is too good not to commit to. So it does have a masterwork for range. Stability would have been ideal, but I'm not complaining. With this pulse, I help myself with it. I run Pulse Unflinching on my chest, Pulse Rifle Dexterity on my legs, and so on. It has enough range to compete on the longer sight lines and is accurate enough to compete when you're that far away. If you're missing low, Headseeker really comes into effect, and on larger maps, I pull out that rangefinder one. The complete package of this weapon falls to its high stability, its sight, and recoil direction. Very easy to use. I like this weapon 100% more than the Iron Banner Claws of the Wolf, and that's mostly with the recoil direction. You PC guys don't feel it as much as us console guys. It's rough over here, but even then, on PC, Horsley should perform a lot better. If you're a fan of pulse rifles, don't let this one pass you by when it comes. Try to get it when the Corrupted Strike rotates around. It's an all-around great pulse rifle. Depending on the player and the role, you can really cater to what you want to do. As you saw, I put on Fluted Barrel. I value that more than the other barrels because of the handling stat. The 540s just have low inherent handling. That's something that we have to deal with, and it helps out that stat tremendously. You can go with Counterbalance mod, Hipfire Grip, a magazine mod, maybe you want it for PvE. This pulse rifle with extended mag gets to 45 rounds, then you could add a mag mod. Some great combinations with this pulse. The base of it, the bones of it are what really make it special though. Great base stats, the stability mostly being that it's fast firing. I think very highly of Horror's Least, and I give it actually a 5 out of 5 in PvP. I outshoot a lot of things in the Crucible with it. In PvE, it really depends on the role, but I do give it a solid 4 out of 5, being that it's arc and it has crowd control capabilities such as Firefly, things like that, or Kill Clip. What are your thoughts on Horror's Least? Did you get one? How's the role on it? Let's talk about it in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.